Good evening, good evening, good evening, and how are we doing? And welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway Show. As you can see, a bit slim on pickings at the moment, people in the panel, but we are building up more as we go along. So I'd like to say hello to Hot Fuzz, who obviously is a Man United fan. So we had a good old chat earlier on regarding their game. And from across the pond, the big man himself, the legend, the myth, Oregon Goon Dow. How are we, mate? Good
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on. First time. Beautiful pub you got in the back there. I see you got the bar manager working hard, the bartender, a nice couple in there enjoying some drinks. So big up to everyone in the pub.
Should be good, mate. Should be a good one. Let me see. Let's see who we got in the chat so far. Big up to people in the chat. King Mikkel, hold my cigarette. Hashtag trust the process. Indeed, we'll talk about that as well. And obviously, Harrigan's going in with that. Big up Lenny Moon. How we keeping? Big up brothers. And obviously, hello to Joanne Smith. How are we keeping? She says here, bloody miracle we won. True Gooners. Big up Josh. Josh, if you're around, you want to come in, give me a message, mate. I shall send the link to your good self. If you want to come in, you're quite welcome to in that. And hello to Mama Flossie, Tont, Fuzzy, and Dow. Yeah, and got Thatcher saying 3-1, get in, Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher.
The myth, the legend herself.
Frosty in the building.
Don't let Margaret Thatcher decide where she wants to take this Arsenal squad for holidays. She'll end up taking them to the Falklands again.
Dubai seemed to work out pretty well.
Evening, Carl Rossi. It did indeed. That's very true. And Joe Smith, stuff the process. It's 3 points. That's it. Next few hammers. Yes. I know, Joanne. I know. So we'll talk about that shortly. In that evening, Carl Rossi. Evening, Pepsi Pack. I'll be keeping well. So yeah,
that's everyone.
So we'll start off with you, Fuzz. I mean, your game. Tell us about it a little bit. What did you think?
Oh, I tell you what. I see people. They're clipping it up already. It's cringe. It's actually cringe, but let's leave the mutants to it, right? They're clipping up the three that sits on the advertisement boards: Garnacho, Hoyland, and Mainu.
Oh yeah,
they're the second coming of the Trinity statue outside of Old Trafford. I'm like, fam, these guys literally just started this season. What you talking about, Trinity statue? Why are we making these comparisons already? But man, I'm actually relatively I'm happy with the result, with the performance as well. Relatively steady for the most part. Anana a couple of good saves to keep West Ham out from scoring any goals, but controlled the game for the most part. 2 good goals from one good goal from Garnacho, and fortunate on his first strike as well. That took a massive deflection. But lovely finish by Rasmus Hoyland as well, and birthday goal for birthday boy. So fair plays to him. And unfortunately, a little dampener on the day is Martinez could possibly be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I heard about this ACL.
I don't know if it was ACL. I know it's definitely a big problem with the knee, but they're all saying that this is a bad injury, a very bad knee injury. It never stops.
No, as always. And Dow, it was a masterclass, Arteta masterclass.
Let me unmute my mic. It was an absolute masterclass today. But hello. Thank you for having me on again. Yes, Arteta got Who knew? Havertz, our number 9. Who knew? Yeah, it was a great first half. It was a great first half. I was really pleased with the first half. Second half, I was more pleased to get the goals, but I still see some parts that need to be fixed, so to speak.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
But
Facts.
other than
Facts.
that, I mean, we can
Facts,
dive into
Betsy.
it. 3 points. I just, I'm elated to get the 3 points, but like I said, there's just some little pieces that need to be manicured a bit. But I think we're in a title race. Big up, Jezza. I don't think we're going to win the title, but I think we're in a title race, and I'm happy to say that.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. I was doing player ratings. Apologies.
No, is that right, Jez? Anyway, good to have you in here.
You're good, man.
So,
Good.
yeah, Tom, I'm pleased. They played better than I expected. I predicted a 2-1 win with Rice, in the 89th minute, because that's been the pattern, that we saw earlier this season. And then, of course, middle of the season, you saw nothing because we weren't scoring goals. I gave Martinelli my man of the match today because he hasn't been scoring goals, but he absolutely was rabid today. And I noticed a lot of difference. He was playing, for Martinelli specifically, he was playing further back, had more space to run into instead of playing so far up into the final third where he has nowhere to run but towards the goalpost. He had his head up today. He was everywhere. So overall, I thought it was a great display by the boys today. I can't complain.
Yeah, it seems whatever formation you played today, and it was your game. Liverpool just looked shocking. They couldn't handle the press that you started off quite, in the first 5 minutes, you was really strong, which was good to see considering you're at home as well. It was quite good to see that from you guys for a change.
Yeah, it's just what I think Jez would probably agree with is the consistency now. Why aren't we doing this versus Fulham, versus you guys, versus Nottingham Forest? Why do we? And I said it before in the reaction. I think Connor made a good point. He said sometimes it feels like we dump ourselves down to the opposition. And I think that's a really good analysis because you can just see the difference, in levels that we produced today against the top team. I mean, Liverpool weren't their best, but number one, you can only play who's in front of you, and number two, they've only lost twice. So it could have gone the other way at 2-1 today in the 70th minute. I was not convinced we were going to win that game. I just wasn't convinced. But, Arteta found a way. The players found a way. So I got to say, again, big up to the players and more for them than Arteta.
I mean, Jez, what did you make of the game?
Well, I totally endorse what Dallas has said, basically. Our midfield today just outran Liverpool. They didn't know how to deal with this. Odegaard turned up for a big game, which is unusual. I thought Jorginho was immense. Rice was unplayable. And it made a massive difference in our midfield. And the fact that we could basically bully them. And I thought, fairness to Havertz, he had that opportunity. Yeah, I think that just shows lack of confidence in front of goal. Thankfully, Saka was there to finish it off. But in fairness, I mean, when he hooked off Martinelli after he scored that goal, I thought, what are you doing? Because I would have personally, my move would have been take Havertz off, move Martinelli to the centre and put Trossard left. But it worked, and I'll respect him for that. I mean, one thing I am glad about, Martinelli looked really pissed off that he was taken off, because at the end of the day, if a player walks off not bothered, then I question it. He looked really, really angry and good. I hope he has a word with Arteta and, makes his point clear to him, because players should do that with their manager. They should say, look, why do you bring me off? I just saw him scored a goal 5 minutes before and you hooked me. But, okay, it worked. It worked today. Another day that may not have worked. But, yeah, I mean, the point... The stupid goal that Saliba scored, I'm not blaming Raya on that. The only question I've got on Saliba, you should have just binned that ball straight out down the Hornsey Road. That ball should never be seen again. And that was a big error. And that stupidity. I don't think Saliba's been great in the last few games, personally. But we got away with it. Great result. That's the last time we're going to see Pep win at the Emirates. Sorry, that's the last time we're going to see Pep at the Emirates, and he lost. So good luck when you leave, because at the end of the day, you ain't coming back to beat us there again. Well, not anytime soon. So yeah, fair play to Arteta, man. You got it right today. I did question Jorginho at the start, but I thought Jorginho today was absolutely level. He was bodying players. He was everywhere, and I thought it was just an all-round great experience to Arsenal's nemesis, that being Liverpool. Good display. I'll take it. We're in the race. Only question I'm going to say, people, if Man City go on to win their 2 games in hand and they go on to win every other game of the season, we've got to win every game of the season, and we'd still end up second.
Yeah. That's very true. Let's see what's just going some comments. Because I see that apparently Jamie Carragher wasn't happy with the celebrations at the end of the game.
Who?
Jamie Carragher. Yeah, the Who person. Yeah, some kind of, he took the camera, Odegaard taking pictures, and Carragher wasn't happy with what he saw.
I don't
Sour grapes.
I don't like looking at Carragher. I don't like looking at him. So, I mean, there's a complete bias there. We all know that. I mean, that's like ridiculous, right? I mean, it's just, it was. I don't know if you guys agree with this or not. Maybe so. That was our biggest match of the season. You know, I've said that before, right? Because you look at where we were at the table, up and down, up and down. We're not successful in the FA Cup. We're not successful in the Carabao Cup. You know, so this was to me our biggest game of the season, and now I'm looking at Porto as being one of our biggest games, right? I want to see the same thing, guys. That's my biggest issue. I think even winning like this is great, but let's see some consistency. Let's not just get us all excited for one weekend and then go back to playing like dog crap the next, right? If we lose to you guys, Tone,
yeah,
I mean, it will mean nothing, right? If we lose to West Ham, the Liverpool win means nothing. And I want to see us beat Porto. I want to see something happen. You know, we hit a high gear earlier in the season a little bit. We stagnated, and now we've hit a high gear again. Number one, my blood pressure can't take this. And number two, it's just, you know, it's like, why can't we show the consistency? Why are we looking at a different Arsenal today than we looked at against Fulham and the Hammers? Why? And those are the questions I talked about like at the beginning of the show that need to be answered. There's still a lot of cracks, you know. And like Jez said, the goal today, ridiculous to give up that goal today. I mean, we're looking at 3-0 victory if that shit doesn't happen. So,
yeah,
you know, it's just there's so many cracks continuing. But I do think I'm going to put myself out there. I think we're in a title fight. I think if we at least show some consistency week in, week out, and maintain with City and Liverpool the best we can, I think there's something to be said there. But like Jez says, I do think the title is out of our hands. But I think second place is something that we could really push for.
Well, it is tight, isn't it? I mean, just looking at the table here, I mean, obviously Liverpool on 51, you now on 49, and you've got City with the 2 games in hand on 46, along with Villa.
Right.
So it's still, you know, topsy-turvy at this stage. But I think the pair of you are right. All it takes is City to win those games, and you're back to square one again.
Right. Well,
So, yeah.
it's up to Arteta to actually do his job. And it goes back to our negligence in this January of not getting the players in that we needed to see this thing through. I mean, not that if we got into, let's say we got in 2 good players, that's still not going to keep City from winning it, right? I mean, we may damage them, but I mean, the 2 games in hand, you just said it yourself, it already propels them to the top. But I'm very aggravated about the January window. I cannot believe that we didn't sign anyone. And, you know, we could have brought in that player today, right? We could have brought in.
Personally, Dale, I'm glad we didn't buy anybody. I don't trust this guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, that too, right? That's the other. No, I'm with you on that too, Jez, as well.
And the
It's
only
a double-edged sword, bro.
The only player I'd want him to bring in was a proper striker like Tony, but we knew that was never going to happen. It was never on the agenda. But you know, if he'd been given a license to go and buy somebody, it'd be some unknown from Brazil. you know, some
Well,
18-year-old. We never watched him see play. So, you know, I'm quite happy we've got to go along and we move into the summer window. And if he's still here, I don't trust him again. But getting back to your point, Tony, is Jamie Carragher, man. He talks bollocks anyway.
Yes, I know, mate. We know that.
If Liverpool won that game today, right, he'd be jumping all over the place because Arsenal won. Of course, he's going to people out, you know. And yeah, I mean, all right, Odegaard taking photographs of the Arsenal photographer. That's just a bit of banter in there. It's a bit of a laugh, bit of a giggle. I'm not going to kick him up the arse for that. Let's be honest. That's a big win today for Arsenal. The big win. You know, it means a hell of a lot, and it means a hell of a lot to the fans, and it means a massive amount to the players. Hopefully, the players will see that they can beat the bigger teams in the league, and it will kick on from there. And I'll take it all day long. I'm not going to criticise any player for celebrations. The North Bank loved it, and fair play to them and respect. And we'll see we'll see the photographs that he sticks. We might see him on the arse. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to beat him up for that one. Jamie Carragher, mate, piss off. You know, you're just boring scouts. You're a boring scouts. Piss off, man.
I mean, Riley Bubbles, but yeah, not sure whether you sign 2 players or 11, you can stop City winning the league. And this is the thing; they are looking fairly strong at the moment. You know, you saw that from the last game they played. They look just off this planet at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, our game today, as I said, looking at how we set our stall out, I thought we were, you know, defensive-wise in the midfield, we should have been a lot stronger. But there's something going on. There's a lack of communication going on. Players are not kind of finding each other. We was just making too many mistakes with the ball, basically. And Man United, for what they were, I mean, as Fuzzy will tell you, Højlund, you know, getting his goal. And then the 2 others, I mean, the third one especially, it's poor defending. I mean, did you see the game yourself? Have you seen any highlights of our game?
I was flicking between that one and the Forest game, to be honest. And, you know, I think you were very shabby today. Very shabby. I was expecting a lot more from you in that one. I won't lie.
Yeah.
And if that's the West Ham we play next weekend, I'll be quite happy.
Yeah, I know. It's true. You'll be enjoying another 3 points there. I don't know. I don't know what to say of it, basically. So, yeah, I mean, just looking at the results from yesterday, there was some interesting scorelines. I think for the North London boys, it must be a good thing to see Everton join 2-2 with Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sean Dyche is a double agent.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I noticed he ain't shown his face for the last couple of days, but poor old Jack, Crystal Palace, got smashed by Brighton. Brighton finally turned up for a game.
Yeah.
And Burnley actually kind of getting a result 2-2 against Fulham.
2-0 down as well.
Yeah, exactly. To come back into that game. And obviously Luton Town.
Wow, what a shot that game was. Yeah. Wasn't seeing that one. Was not seeing 4-2 like that. No. Yeah, I watched that. I watched it on a watch along with the Yeti. And, yeah, big shot. Big shot. And it shows what I know about football, right? Because I predicted them at the start of the season. Do really well, Newcastle. And they're sort of falling under the radar a little bit at the moment. And very surprised. Very surprised. But I expected a lot more. I mean, Luke, fair play to them. You've got to admire them because they're fighting for survival. And who knows? They may pull it off and another team goes into that position. So, no,
this is very true. They're fighting, aren't they? That's what you want to see from a team that's just got promoted. You want to see that fight out of them, and especially their little kind of ground they're going as well. But Newcastle, well, yeah, that's I don't want to go
That's a
into that one.
line. I think I had them picked for fourth this season to finish fourth after their great start last season. I think many of us maybe had done that, but yeah, I'm not Newcastle. It's kind of falling apart.
Mm.
It all started going wrong when Tonali got his suspension.
Point,
Yeah, true.
point. Yeah, good
Yeah,
point.
good point. It is a good point. I mean, when's he supposed to be back? Do you know, Fuzz?
I don't think it's meant to
Or
be
if
back.
he's coming back at all? Is the other
I think
one.
he's meant to be. I think it was about a year that he was suspended for, so that he's not playing again this season. It's going to be till I think a couple months into next season, potentially.
Wow. Not good.
I think.
Not good.
Mm.
That won't be good for Newcastle at all.
No. I think they've still got some players that are injured as well, haven't they? So it's not good for them at the moment.
I wouldn't mind. I would be surprised if they got rid of Eddie Howe in the summer if the results stay the same. I mean, they're going to invest a lot of money, right? Saudi owned. Howe's an above average manager, but I mean, they're going to want for their money. They're going to want someone in there that really knows stuff. It's probably
They haven't spent. I thought they'd have invested a lot more than they have. To be fair,
I thought they would too, right? I thought they had to talk about Madison going there. I thought at one time. Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if it's to do with of financial fair play that they're looking at it, and people are just like, yeah, you've got all of that money to spend, and you can't spend as much as you want to spend out of that. You have to limit yourself. So I think they'll probably be punching the air right now with FFP. So could be competing a lot sooner, a lot better. But
So Mama Flossie's saying that Tonali's back in August by the looks of it. I'm assuming that's the guy we're talking about.
Yeah.
And obviously then the late game was Villa against Sheffield United.
Oh boy. I swear to God that half of Bramall Lane was empty in like the 23rd minute.
Wow.
Everyone had just gone home. Like, nah, I'm not staying around for another 8-0 loss. I ain't sitting around for that because it was going that way.
That's true. And the thing today, Arsenal 3-1 up, and the Arsenal fans weren't walking out. Liverpool were.
Let's say that, Jez. Yeah, I was going to add that to you. They actually stayed for a change.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? Really,
But it's going well.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously we were supposed to have Wolf in that, but unfortunately he got called away. But yeah, I mean, it just shows you Wolves what a job that Gary O'Neill's doing at Wolves.
Oh man, Chelsea, man, they're in a mess, aren't they? They are in a proper mess, Chelsea. Dear, oh dear.
So sorry, you've had a bad day when Cunha scores a hat trick against you.
Yeah, that's true.
A very bad day.
They have Enzo Fernandez tied to an 8-year contract.
Everyone's on an 8-year contract.
Everyone, yeah,
pretty much everybody.
It's ridiculous, bro. Like an 8-year contract at one club. There's no way. And plus, if they try to sell him, his wages are going to be so high, no club's going to be able to afford him.
No, that's the thing, isn't it?
So they're stuck with him. And Fernandez, I rate Fernandez. I want him in Arsenal, of course, but I mean, look at him now. Is Fernandez even really Premier League material? In some cases, he's okay, but that's a lot. That's a lot of money for one player. I said $5 million on him, an 8-year contract at $250,000 a week. Jesus,
I'm wondering about their contract situation, given how long they are, and for the values of the contracts. If they need to sell players, that their severance pays are going to be massive.
Massive.
They've got to pay so much money to these players.
And
have fun maximizing your profits when you need to sell your assets to keep under the FFP barrier.
Crazy. It's bad American ownership. It's greed to its fullest. They're trying to show wealth like they're showing off a new car practically. Oh, look what we can do, blah, 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 and spend all this money. Well, let's be serious on real average talent. Like even the players aren't really that good. There's nobody on those team sheets that I'm like, oh yeah, here's a world beater. I mean, I know couple of World Cup winners on there, but to be honest, as we know, that doesn't transfer over in the Premier League. Enzo, World Cup winner, he hasn't really done shit at Chelsea, to be honest.
No.
Doesn't transfer over. I mean, let's be real. And that's where the American ownership is lost, I think. They see, oh, the World Cup. Look at these players. Let's go buy them all. And then they get them in, and they're like, oh, this is a lot different than a 32-game tournament in the summer, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm glad to see the downfall because it just smells of greed and bad ownership, average players. I'm here for the downfall. It's fantastic.
Well, it looks like it could be because by all accounts, they were booed off at half time. They were booed off at the end of the game.
Should have been.
So if you look at it, I mean, with a
4-2.
Pochettino, then you've got to definitely say his days are probably going to be numbered, aren't they? Because as you said, you spend all that money, you expect something, especially not just the owner, but from the fans' point of view as well. So
Absolutely, man. Unfortunately, it sometimes just doesn't work for certain managers in the Premier League. It takes somebody special in the Premier League to win big. I mean, we saw Jose. Yeah, when he was at Chelsea, he was immense. When he went to Tottenham, when he went to Man United, disaster. Went abroad, did okay, but sometimes some managers just don't hack it.
No, that's true.
I think Pochettino may be one of them. Did nothing at Spurs. He's doing absolute jet ball at bloody Chelsea. And I think if things don't improve very, very quickly, he's out. He's gone. He's done.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jez, because when you spend that amount of money, you expect results at least. But they're not even doing that.
They're getting battered. That's the thing. They're getting battered in games. And you don't expect that from a recent rebuilt team from the last 20 years at Chelsea. They've been absolutely taken apart, man.
Cool enough. I mean, obviously, like Arsenal Manic's made a comment here, Jess. I mean, should they have, they should have given Potter more time. Do you agree on that, you guys?
Yeah, I think they should have done. Yeah.
The thing is, I've said this about Chelsea previously, is that the way that their ownership or the boards goes about managing their club is it's not suitable for any manager because the job gets made that much harder. So your likes of Thomas Tuchel should never have been sacked. Graham Potter comes in, he's inherited somebody else's free for all mess. You can't do much with that. And Frank Lampard's just a poor appointment.
Right.
And now you've got Pochettino, more sort of the same situation that Graham Potter has. The thing is now is that we know it's not going to work with Pochettino, but with how bad the handling of so many things about Chelsea at the moment has been, do Chelsea pull the trigger at an appropriate time? Because if they're bad with their appointments, bad with how they handle everything else, getting rid of the manager and actually bringing someone else in decent, they might make a hash of that as well. They might take too long with it. They might not know or have a plan set up. They might just go, well, we'll wait until it's completely untenable, or it's financially, or not financially, but mathematically impossible to qualify for competitions to get bonus income. Because I think there's a lot of Chelsea fans that believe this ownership is more sinister. It's more like the Glazers. They're there for the buck. Let's get some money out of it by putting a little bit of money in. Bleed them dry.
Todd Bowley's put £1 billion into this squad. That's the thing.
$1 billion promised. He's done that, and now where's he going to get the rebate from?
This is the truth. Jaminio's got a question to us. He's saying, Would any of the Chelsea players even get into the Arsenal or even on our bench? Maybe Palmer and Silva, but that's it.
I think Palmer would.
Yeah, he's decent, isn't he, Palmer?
He's a decent player. I don't know about anybody else currently. Which actually sums up, it's a great question actually from Jamila, because the amount of money they've spent, right, and it's a pretty dross team, you know, at the end of the day. So you have to question the management on that one.
Yeah.
I'm not crying for Chelsea. I hate Chelsea. you know, I hope they get relegated personally, along with but you know.
Really?
We know that's not going to happen, but at the end of the day, you know, I've got no love for Chelsea at all, so they can go and do one for all I care.
I think it goes back
I would
to.
take.
Sorry, go
I
on.
would take Nkuku, their striker that they got. That's probably the only player I would take. Him and Palmer. I mean, I know he's been injured, and maybe what's their winger, Maduke or something like that.
Madueke.
Madueke, thank you. Those are the only three I would take.
Mudrik. You finally get your boy Mudrik.
Not Nick. Not go with the Backstreet Boys. They can have the Ukrainian name. No. With the
Ukrainian H from Steps.
kids that can actually run. But no, I think like Nkuku would be a shout. He would be great for sure. But he hasn't had a chance to shine because of injuries.
That's true.
Wolfie, it's not personal, man. Not personal.
Right.
Yeah.
Never personal, always business.
No, because that's the thing. I mean, when you look at Potter, it was for me. It was a step too much because that man aged with that job. It definitely aged him because it was just too big of a job. And I agree with Fuzz. I mean, Tuchel should have been given more of a chance.
Absolutely.
I think the problem over the years since Mourinho's left, the amount of managers that have come in, and you've got to think the player power at Chelsea has really kind of demised the managers that have been there. You know, you've got to think you've had Conte in there. You know, Mourinho came back, they got rid of him. Frank Lampard. I mean, that was just a token thing. You know, you bring in one of your own to manage the club, and again, it's too big of a job. Tuchel, though, on the other end, I thought he would have done better there, but once they changed ownership, it was all the Bowley show, wasn't it? Todd Bowley at the end of the day, and you inherit a squad that basically are no good, like you said, Jez. I agree with you. One or two players. I mean, Jackson. I mean, that's a waste of a buy as well. I mean, there's no
unproven in the Liga, wasn't he? He didn't set La Liga alight at all for Villarreal. It's just like it's such a strange investment, random signing.
All random signings. They're all
true.
Hodgepodge of names thrown together. I think I've talked about that before. It's just these bunch of no names kind of thrown together, or so-called young talent that they're hoping will come good in the future. Because I mean, they ain't winning nothing now, but they're in the final though, aren't they? Against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup.
They are indeed, yeah.
So I mean, Liverpool, I think will destroy them because they'll want revenge after today, or the following week if they lose or draw. But yeah, sorry, Wolfie. Chelsea are just down in the gutter right now, but happy to see it.
Yeah. I just want to touch on the Women's League because obviously Man United won yet again, did they, Wolf? Sorry, Fuzzy. You beat Brighton. And, well, at least we got a result over you guys. West Ham women beat Arsenal women 2-1. So at least we're, it's even Steven. So I'm happy with that score at least. Doing better than the first team anyway.
True.
I don't know if you noticed another rugby great leftist, old Barry John.
Barry John, man. Yeah,
79.
Absolute legend of the game for Wales, that man.
Yeah. Blimey.
Barry John.
So I've just seen a bit of it here. He was a loving dad to his 11 grandchildren and much loved brother. So he done a lot for himself.
thing is, he retired from rugby very early in his career. He was a
He
young
did,
man.
didn't he? Mm.
Yeah, he just retired, and he just hit the peak. And I remember my other granddad on the Welsh side of the family talking to me about him. And my other granddad loved rugby, fair play, and he used to tell me about the likes of JPR Williams, Barry John, and all that lot, Gerald Davis, the legend players that Arsenal had in the late 60s, 70s. And he said, Barry John was the king of the rugby at the time, and he just packed it in at a very young age. I don't know why, but
Very
yeah,
interesting. Yeah.
it is sad, very sad.
So,
America, Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, I was going to say, yeah, Carl Weathers as well. That was a very early age. I mean, I don't think I've read it. Dale, have they said exactly why he passed away?
No, I haven't heard the reason why yet. I saw Sylvester Stallone give a speech about him, but Carl Weathers, man, he was an integral part of the Rocky franchise.
Yeah.
He was a Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was a multi-million-dollar box office bonanza film. So I think he hasn't been doing movies much, but he was also in Happy Gilmore with Adam Sandler.
Yes.
As his golfing coach. Some may not remember. So
right. Yes.
So big up Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers. Yeah.
And he was last starring in The Mandalorian for on the Star Wars show. So yeah, it's a sad loss. I mean, and still at an early age when you think about it. So yeah, taken too soon, as they say.
He was on that. That's right. That's right. I forgot that he was on a show as like the broker guy for The Mandalorian to find him jobs or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. Mm.
Oh man, yeah, that sucks. I forgot about that.
Another sad loss.
But yeah, we're all in good health and here to celebrate 3 points.
So let's talk about during the week. The transfer window closed.
There was a transfer window.
Well, exactly, because I think if you look at our three respective clubs, we hardly did anything.
Well, I started to clear out of youngsters, which I think is a good move because obviously the interesting one, I can't remember his name, he was going to be the next Lionel Messi. So it's not good, they've let him go. Basically, I think it's a good move by Arsenal because, you can't hang on to young players if they're deemed not to make it. Let them go and make their careers somewhere else. Let them try to prove themselves because I think it's unfair that you keep a player under wraps and the management will then say, look, this guy's just not going to make the level we need. Yeah, let them go. Rip up their contracts, whatever, or get a few quid if you can, and move them on. And I think it's a great move by Arsenal Football Club and respect for doing that. Fair play.
Did you feel disappointed, though, that you didn't bring anyone in? I mean, obviously, I know you said about having a forward.
I'm not disappointed, actually. I'll tell you for why. I don't trust Arteta or Edu to bring in the levels of player in this window I'm talking about that we would need. All I could see them doing was bringing in some unknown 18-year-old kid who we'd never seen play, right? Case in point, yeah? We got rid of a goalkeeper that Arteta brought in, played once in competitive football. So, I mean, what's that about? That was his choice. Well, maybe it was pressure from the Cronkies. I don't know, but I mean, I just see it pointless. I don't trust these people with the money, and I'd rather we didn't buy anybody. I know that's stupid to say. People are going to say, "Well, you're stupid just for saying that," because you've got a thin squad. Yes, we have, but I don't see the point of spending 10 million on some person that's going to be an absolute waste of space. No point. Keep the money to the summer. Yeah. Exactly. If it all goes equal, then Arteta might be gone by then. We have a proper manager. We buy proper players. I'm sorry, if Arteta goes, mate, Eddie can go with him.
Yeah.
Don't trust the man.
Mhm.
Don't trust the man. I think they're all on it for some reason. And no, don't believe in buying rubbish, man. We've done it way too often. You know,
Mm,
Tavares, all these Lakongas, all these people, absolute dross, not good enough. No, don't. I'm glad we didn't, man, to be honest.
good. I mean, what's your view on it, Dow?
I disagree a little bit with that. I mean, I think that Edu was sitting on his thumbs again during November and December when Tony basically said, "Come and get me." We could have had him sign on the dotted line before he signed a new contract at Brentford to make the price lower. But he's got to pay back Brentford. I get it. I think I've been saying for months now that we were never going to get him anyway. But when it was getting closer, like we may have, I was totally on board. I'm very disappointed we didn't sign one player that would be useful, like Zubamendi or somebody. I think he's around the $50 million mark. I'm not tracking FFP. I don't follow our money. I don't follow much of that. I just say if the money's there and the player's good, bring him in. But I'm also in the same camp as Jez. I don't want this dickhead bringing in anybody and coaching talent out of them.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about Benzema. I mean, a 36-year-old striker. I know he's a world-class striker. I get it. 36 years old. It doesn't fit the age mold. It doesn't really, you get him in there. Arteta's going to be telling Benzema what to do. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, right?
No.
Arteta, Benzema would be like, "How about you shut up and let me play?" Right? And that's still, I think he has these constraints on Saka, Martinelli, etc. And anybody we bring in, he will coach the talent out of them. So that's where I 100% agree with Jez. Not including the money, because we know the money's there. There's some money there we can spend. Granted, we weren't going to get an $8,500 million player. I was fine with that. But bringing in Zubamendi would have not been a bad move because it would have brought in a player we could actually use to get us somewhere, who's actually very good, right? But, of course, as Arsenal totally does, we totally screw the pooch and think we're, Billy Big Bollocks and don't need anyone, even though he says the squad is thin. I mean, it's just it's so dumb for him to even say that. Like, I can't believe he would actually say that and then not put any action into his words. But that's Arteta, right? I mean, I should have expected that, I guess, in hindsight. But the thing is that we have improved the squad, and we could have brought in, let's say, a decent midfielder we could have used today, possibly. Or we could probably use against the Hammers. We could have probably used against Fulham and West Ham, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard for me to say that because I do agree with Jez, like 99.9%. I don't want him buying any talent because he's not a talent spotter. And the names Jez just mentioned, Tavares, etc. So it's a really fine line, you guys. But my heart tells me that we obviously need a striker. But if someone like Zubamendi becomes available, you buy him. You buy him, and that's I would have been happy with that one purchase, knowing that we would have gotten Tony in because it still would have improved the midfield.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. What about you, Fuzzy? Was Man United looking to do any business or wait until the summer?
Well, we want to do business. We can't do business. We've got it's a poisoned chalice kind of ordeal. But it's like even if you had some money there or the wiggle room to actually spend to bring people in, there's two things. One, United never really like to do any January business anyways. They like to sort of, don't worry about it. We'll save the war chest for the summer. The other thing is that you've got John Murta still there doing the business.
Yeah.
Good luck to doing anything. They were planning to spend an entire, week to /2 weeks to try and sign Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting on loan for 6 months. It's like only John Murta is probably the only director of football on the planet in football history that at Manchester United could get somebody of that profile and spent around 2 weeks to sign him for 6 months. So yeah, it's in terms of people coming into the club, it's finished, it's clapped. So thank goodness that he's on the chopping block. His time's running out. Probably a couple of weeks more, maybe up to a month, and then he's gone thereabouts. As for the outgoings, everyone's just gone on loan, basically. Everybody just on loan, or like Arsenal, some of the youngsters that don't really have a future at the club, just it's just off you go, get a bit of money for you now, and use some of that money, contribute it towards the summer. This is the thing. There's a lot of similarities between Arsenal and Man United in terms of the way we go about doing our business. The fact that the people with power at the club are so underqualified for their positions, and it's just, I'm glad that we are doing something about it now. But unfortunately, that's January gone, and we could have had something special for January, but not to be. We'll have to focus up on the summer and actually have proper people who are qualified, who can do a proper job, and we'll do it well. And then, you know what, next season, it looks a bit more something to look forward to a bit more. Basically.
in a nutshell. Yeah, I mean, we had the worst one. I mean, we was linked with this Jota from Al Ittihad, and that never happened. And then, of course, there was Ibrahim Osman with the double agent going on business. Asking for silly figures for actual an agent's fee. And of course, then we had Fornals and Benrahma. Are they going? Are they staying? And Leon apparently was so appalled by West Ham's admin business that apparently FIFA's looking into it because it was that shocking by all accounts. So that's I don't know if there's any kind of meat to that bone, but it just seems crazy that anyone else that does transfer business, why suddenly want to get FIFA involved because they reckon that we didn't dot the I's and cross the T's. I don't know. I can't.
Do something corruptive and get something more corruptive to check the corruption that you did.
Yeah. You know what I mean? There is, you can't make it, as I say, you can't make that shit up, basically.
Well, why did you guys loan out Benrahma? I mean, I know he's not like super Benrahma anymore, like he kind of was before joining the Hammers. I thought he was a decent player. I think Arsenal even had a sniff at him. Why would you loan him out? You guys need talented players. I'm not saying he's the greatest, but he's talented.
Well, it showed itself today. I mean, when you look at as Arsenal have got a weak squad, and that Moyes showed today that we have got a very weak squad as well because we lack that. There's no depth on the bench, and what they brought on, there was no like for like. There was nothing coming to improve the game. So, as you said, getting rid of Fornals and Benrahma that could do something raises a serious question mark. I mean, obviously, I think the player himself wanted that anyway. As we mentioned before, what he did at the Bristol City game when he kicked out of that player, that's your way of trying to get out, getting out of the club, doing things like that. But the Fornals one, by all accounts, it was again another one where I think we're getting something like 7 million plus 4 million add-ons apparently. But yet he was at the Bournemouth game when he should be, paraded himself in a Real Betis shirt.
Yeah.
That was a weird one in itself. So I mean, Steadton, he's done really well with us during the summer window, but I don't know. I think like with all clubs, January, no one likes really selling or buying at this stage,
right.
And most of you can see the business was all loans. But with them two players, I don't know. It just seemed weird. They look like they're going, but yet they're still there. I think Fornals is supposed to have been off his way if the paperwork is correct. Gotcha. And the same with the Benrahma business. So,
Benrahma to Leon and Fornals to Betis.
Yeah, Real Betis, yeah. So you can't make that crap up, as they say.
Hey guys, I've got to bounce. I've got stuff to do before tomorrow.
Yes, but
but,
before you go though, Jess, before you go, and that it's been a pleasure as always having you on the shows and stuff, and we all hope that everything goes tomorrow, very well, and we see you back really soon.
cheers, guys. He's keeping an eye on you all on your streams. You know,
Hang in there, buddy.
as I said to Lee, as the elder statesman, I will keep an eye on you all, see what you're up to, and I'll catch you all very soon, people. And looking forward to the game next weekend, Tony. West Ham, Arsenal, West Ham.
Yes, mate. Yes, and just relax, rest, and don't get. Hopefully, the score might work in your favour next week, so that helps you towards your recovery as well.
Jez, I remember how mad you were last time we lost to West Ham just a few weeks ago. So that's
at least
after your operation. Let's not get that upset if you can help it.
Yeah, at least Liverpool didn't kill me off today. So you know what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, take care, and I'll catch you all soon. Yeah.
Thanks
take
again,
care.
Jez.
Okay, mate.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I mean, as Ronnie Bubbles put, amazing ain't brought in DOF to make us more professional, and then the shambles was this transfer window. The club's a fucking joke. Okay, and basically Benny has gone basically because he's shit. By the way, so,
Yeah, he was very hit or miss, wasn't he? He had time on the injury table and so forth as well, I think.
We got him in, and all of a sudden he looked lightweight, and then we wanted to put meat on his bones. He beefed himself up, and then before you know it, he was it was crap. So yeah, it's one of those. Just anyway, some of the comments. Everyone's saying all the best to Jez, which is all good.
Yeah, don't overdo it. Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. But, we know he's done that before.
So, what do you guys think of the Arsenal today? You thought we are deserving of a 3-1 win, or?
Yeah. Liverpool, what the hell? I mean, it's like.
Well, was they bad or was it just that good? I mean, I thought we just kept them from getting anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, you just did. You all you had to do essentially is just turn up enough to do the fundamentals. Do the fundamentals. I mean, even though you basically, clowned in a goal for Liverpool, literally, they managed to score a goal without even having a single shot on target.
Right.
I don't even know if they actually had a shot that was actually on target for the whole game.
They had 3.
3 shots, wasn't it? Yeah, just 3 shots.
Yeah, I don't know that.
But yeah, to me, I mean, Jesus Christ! I mean, people were talking about the Liverpool downfall that started. I mean, everyone. I know that people are excited to potentially see Liverpool just disappear and go back to mid-table mediocrity like they were in the days of bloody Rafa Benitez and co. But I mean, I'll be happy with that as well. I mean, maybe it's a chance that we can actually go back to United versus Arsenal for titles. But we just need Man City to just get shipped off to the Vanarama National Leagues, and Liverpool to go back to mediocrity, Chelsea to go back to pre-Abramovich, and Tottenham to continue being Tottenham.
All right in the world, right? You gotta remember what you said there, though, was Arsenal not winning trophies except 1 or 2 in that era.
Yeah,
that was your era, my friend. That was your era.
Very true. That's very true.
Well, that's the thing. You just want somebody to be there just so that they can play second place.
Second, right?
I mean, Tony Neary summed it up in that, and I agree. It's best performance we've had in quite some time, and I think it was. For once, you had actually a set plan, and you actually stuck to it. And Liverpool, as much as Nicole said it here, basically, they didn't turn up. We did well to capitalise, but that's it. And probably that sums it up really, because Liverpool were shocking. You saw that with the defensive error between Adrian and Van Dijk for the so-called experience with Van Dijk. And again, even though another involvement between the two players again for the third goal, Van Dijk deflecting off a Trossard shot and Adrian making a howler of it underneath, right through him.
Yeah.
But for me,
I want to
yeah,
think that we played that well, but gosh, the more you guys say that, I'm thinking that maybe we just got lucky on the day. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think there was more than luck in today's game
Yeah.
because you was up for the fight. You actually got stuck in with challenges. You got the
Right.
crowd with that was the main thing. You got the crowd with you, so you had kind of like Havertz. So you still had 11 men on the pitch. That's the crowd and the other 10 players. But when you look at it, Liverpool. I don't know. You
Right.
expected a lot more out of Liverpool.
Well, like Hendon says, they missed Soboslai and Salah. I mean, if those two players are out there, I think that's a different game. But I'm just really proud defensively what we did in the midfield because in the ratings show, I rated the midfielders higher than I did Zinchenko, Saliba, and Gabriel, the exception being Ben White. I thought he was phenomenal the first half today. But I think we won the game in the midfield.
Yeah.
Because the defense really didn't have to do that much. And that just kind of goes with not only the ratings being our midfielders being rated higher than the defenders, but also goes exactly with like what Hendon's saying. We didn't have to really chase Szoboszlai around, and God forbid we didn't have to track, Salah. If Salah was in there, Kiwior in the second half against Salah, that's not a matchup I want to see at all, right? So I want to say that we were that good today than saying that they were that poor. Because they still tried to do their thing, right? They still tried to get the ball out wide, get the ball into the center. I don't know why they didn't start Nunez. I thought that was stupid after he hit the post 4 times against
Yes.
Right? Was it Chelsea? So I don't know. It was just one of those games where I'm just glad we got the 3 points. There are cracks to paper over, but overall, I can't not agree with Tony Neary saying this was one of our better performances of the season.
I mean, obviously, you're just going to go on Darren Sullivan. Welcome into the chat, Darren, anyway, because this is going to be your thing, isn't it? Gassed up fans inside the ground. I think we've won the title already, and so do the players, just on the celebrations. And that's the thing, isn't it? That's the biggest problem you're going to have.
Yeah. Crucial 3 points. I mean, I get what Darren's saying. Let's not get too gassed up because we could pull a stinker against you guys in a week, right? We've seen it over and over and over. So there's nothing new with the sequel. But I just feel like today was more of a statement game, and we had some luck. Exactly, we had a touch of luck today, but I still think we kept Nunez quiet. We kept Jota quiet for sure, except for the first couple minutes, which I was yelling at my television, but. After that, Jota didn't do shit. Let's be honest, guys. I mean, he didn't really do much. And to be honest, he was the player I feared the most.
It's the story of Virgil van Disney, isn't it?
Right. and Saliba, slipping around as well for the goal that they didn't touch the ball on. I mean, we look like Humpty Dumpty and the Three Stooges out there.
Well, Jesus Christ, at Liverpool's back, was that Virgil van Dijk, the guy that's better than Nemanja Vidic, or is that bloody Northside London putting on a Liverpool jersey and having a run around?
I would never ever say Virgil van Dijk is better than Nemanja Vidic. Let's be grounded now.
Let's not go around.
Yeah, Van Dijk's a legend too for Liverpool. But I don't know. He was bad today. He had an off day, and obviously you guys have seen Gabriel and Saliba have off days. So again, I think he set the team up right. I won't give Arteta some praise, even though I want him out immediately. He set the team up right. I don't know where else he's going to play Havertz, even though he could have played Trossard in there. I don't know. There's still so many cracks to cover. I mean, Darren could dive right into that, I'm sure, easily. But hey, 3 points. I don't know what else to say. But at the end of the day, that's what matters.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, as Pepsi Pack says, you can't blame Arsenal for over celebrating against Liverpool because, as you said, it's so close at the top of the title. It's one of those you've got to celebrate.
To be honest, in Anfield, they would have had a massive celebration.
Man!
Oh God, dude, they would have. Jurgen Klopp and his dentures would have been all over. With his hand in the air and all that.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like Liverpool would have been
patting the old chest.
People crying.
I don't see no Liverpool fans getting pissed off about Arsenal over celebrating a result when that man decided, you know what, we're going to celebrate drawing to West Brom at Anfield like we won a league title.
Mm.
Let's
Ouch.
all go to the cop. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just want to say in that, just want to kind of say in that, thank the Lord that you're okay. Yeah, I mean, everyone was concerned about you, man, because obviously, like, you know, trying to reach out to you, but it's good to see you're okay, matey. That's a relief in itself. So,
all the things
to be
that could
fair,
have been. It would have been passed out watching fucking Aquaman 2.
to be fair, if I'm watching something,
yeah, well, it
For
wasn't
watching
exactly the second one wasn't exactly the greatest, was it? You know, that's for sure. As a sequel,
I'm watching
like,
Aquaman's seeing Amber Heard, I'm shitting the bed and passing out as myself.
Well, thanks a lot, guys, for having me on the show. I gotta get going. It's 1 o'clock. I gotta get some lunch.
Oh, bloody hell, Dale. Yeah, forgot your time. Yeah,
Everything's
as always.
this morning. So, thanks again, guys, for having me on the show. It was a ton of fun. Definitely send me an invite again. I'll hop on.
No, you're welcome, mate. You're welcome. I mean, obviously, well, before you go, Dale, I just want to say your prediction for tomorrow, because obviously it is going to be Brentford versus Manchester City.
Brentford versus Manchester City tomorrow, Monday. What was my prediction? I think it said City. I did it the other day. 3-0 City.
3-0.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
I'm going to go with 4-1. Ivan Toney
Yeah.
getting a little jammy goal or something.
In the 90th minute. With Kevin De Bruyne back and Rodri back and Holland, I think, is going to be back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jamie
those two right
Doku
there,
in the team.
they're the best in the league at their position, let's be honest. And so it's curtains for Brentford. Their defense is absolutely terrible. Even if they have Ivan Toney, their defense is absolute shit. City will have a field day and will be in second place, right? Above us. Because the goal
difference, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. So it should be interesting. I mean, obviously, Pepsi's saying 3-1 Tony hat trick. Interesting.
Snowball's chance in hell, but yeah.
No.
Well, it's Brentford at home.
Great.
But Dale, thank you very much for coming on. You know, hopefully one of many. So thank you very much for your time. And I mean, if you look at it, it's going to be a short one today. I think, obviously, because the Arsenal have won, there's not much to talk about. There's not much to talk about. We've lost all content because
everyone's booked. Everyone's quickly booked impromptu flights to Dubai to go celebrate. Booking up Salt Bay's restaurant.
I thought you were going to say to go and watch Aquaman 2. I mean, you know, everyone's kind of hyped up on that now.
No, that's Chelsea fans, mate. That's Chelsea fans. They're going to go watch Aquaman 2 so that they can sleep between now and the end of the season. End the season, Dave.
Thanks again, guys.
Cheers again, Dave. Take it easy. Thanks again, mate. Take care. Yes, mate. The rest of the movie is garbage. Yeah. I mean, I have watched the film. Yeah, it wasn't great. I must admit, there should have been a lot more. Imagine how quiet you'll be when we win the league. That's a joke. It's true. You're joking, Hilly. I can pick plenty of holes in their performance today. Darren, I will have to get you on the next one, mate, because it'd be good to have your content and input, because I've seen some of your stuff and, you know, you don't muck around when it comes to talking about Arteta and your club. You're very true, mate. Going to watch Hangover. Just watch you eat, mate. It'll be easier. Right, mate. Well, we're on the hour. I mean, obviously, it's a short one today, which is not too bad, because I must admit I get another early start yet again, as always.
Well, I've got to go get myself showered and ready for work tomorrow myself. So all in good time, I think.
And if it wasn't for Arsenal winning that, we would have had a longer show, but we can't have it always, can we, at the end of the day?
I don't know if Arsenal would have lost. I mean, I don't know which way it would have gone, or the Arsenal lot coming on to vent, or the Arsenal lot disappearing to hide. I don't know, but which way it would have gone.
Well, you thought they would have come out in the masses to just escalate and be happy and having, but obviously not the case.
Yeah, I mean, if United lost today, this would be what it would look like. You know, I just won't be there. You'd be just listening to a sofa talk to you, or maybe the table, or the piano in the background.
How was the games? I missed the fucking lot. So basically, you drew 1-1 with you drew 1-1 Yeti with Bournemouth. So that's a good result for you guys. West Ham basically
Hold bread. Hold
had
ball.
a fair amount of possession, but basically lost 3-0, and Chelsea got thumped by Wolves 4-2, and Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-1. So yeah, it was that was that kind of thing. I keep buzzing around. Thanks for the stream, guys. Thanks, and obviously.
Oh, there's Mama Flossie.
No, it doesn't, Ronnie. Unfortunately, I was trying to get Budgie on today, but he was stuck outside, and I think most people the ones that wanted to get older than that was probably making their way back from Manchester. So yeah, it's a bit of a short one today, and that. So as you can see, slim pickings. But no, it doesn't always revolve around Arsenal. We try and keep it with West Ham and all the other clubs as well. It's good to get their input. But yeah, it's a bit of a short one, unfortunately, today, mate. So apologies on that score.
FPL.
But yeah, right about normal, mate. Just banter to the community as always. Yeah, you know what it is, Ronnie. It's Arsenal, the gift that keeps on giving. You know that. So, Hot Fuzz, if you'd like to shout your channels, please.
So yeah, you can find me on Hot Buzz 44, United supporter. If you didn't know, but yeah, I've got the match reaction for today with, of course, moi on my on your right and everybody's left, but on my right. But yeah, fantastic result today, and a great match reaction. As for other bits and pieces coming up, there's no telling what's going to happen. I'm thinking tomorrow, given it's the 4th of February tomorrow, it ties into. Well, actually, no, it's the 4th of February today, but they're saying that the ratification time for United is roughly set to be done by around about the 4th. So I'm keeping eyes peeled and ear luggles opened, and listening out for any murmurings of the ratification being completed. Among other things, there may be a show or two on the Monday, Tuesday, just to sort of go over a few bits and bobs, probably get a catch up with a few other people, and then Wednesday, the day of the Holy Trinity of shows, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think this time around, somebody's got to,
Well,
wear
Anthony,
the ugly crown.
Anthony's going back on the ugly spot again. Well, we can't help that, can we? Unfortunately.
It's just ugly by default, ugly by nature, ugly by default.
Love you,
I know.
Anthony. I've just got to find him a new pair of eyebrows. That's all I've got to try and do this time.
Let's give him a new set. Give him some clop teeth as well, just so he's got a bit of a grin going. Just if he's in the good spot, give him a little crown, give him a Klopp smile, the Arteta brows, give him all of that good stuff.
It should be. We'll change him into that. But yeah, we're coming into a minute and sorry, an hour, not minute and 10 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. Thanks everyone for being in the chat. It's been a pleasure being with you guys. Now, as I said, I think obviously with what's going on today, it's just been a bit of a weird one today. But we'll take that. We'll take that. And obviously, as we said earlier, we all kind of sent our love to Jez. Hopefully the operation goes well with him. And it's also a pleasure to know that long-haired Yeti is alive and kicking and doing well. That's the main thing, Yeah, that's all worried, you bloody idiot. But it's good to see you all right, mate. That's the key thing. That is the key thing. All right, guys. So we are nearly out of here. All we can say is well done to the Arsenal. And
Klopp out.
Moyes
out.
We can say Moyes out as well. Absolutely.
Pochettino out. Who else are we saying out?
The world needs a wife.
What was the Sheffield United manager? Chris Wilder, isn't
Chris
it?
Wilder. Chris Wilder. Out.
Wilder out.
Chris Wilder out. Take care, everyone.
Eddie Howe out.